Caulfield Cup. No peer, not here, nor anywhere. The Caulfield Cup doesn't stop a nation. This is a celebration of one. The toughest 2,400-metre turf handicap on the global calendar, dating back to 1879. A race on everyone's wish list, enhanced with a $5 million prize. A target for mugs with good horses to the world's biggest stables. The Caulfield Cup doesn't stop a nation. This is a celebration of one. Scobie Breesley scooped 5. Damien Oliver has 4. He's chased hard since Sky Heights in '99.
Photo, Sky Heights by a nose.
Lee Friedman and Tommy Smith trained 5, but smiling above. His record 7 seems safe for now.
He's hit the front for Bart and Goodle win the Caulfield Cup.
Historians and fans alike acknowledge Jim Cassidy's 2 memory-stamping successes. Arguably the greatest Caulfield Cup performance by Hall of Famer Might and Power. And the fastest ever by Diatribe, providing the legend George Hanlon his first. The Caulfield Cup doesn't stop a nation. This is a celebration of one, where internationals must bring their best. Dunedin, Best Solution, Murder Glass. To challenge the locals, Very Elegant, Incentivise, Durston.
Durston has got up to win it for Mickey Deeb.
The Caulfield Cup doesn't stop a nation. This is a celebration of one.
Welcome back to Caulfield. It's time for the big one. It isn't too far away. It's one of the 4 Grand Slam races on the Australian turf, the Caulfield Cup, and it's so unique in its makeup, being a handicap, something that we in Australia do very, very well. And this year, it's a strong renewal. It's an intriguing renewal. There's been plenty of talk around Gold Trip. He's going to have to be the first horse in the metric era to win the Caulfield Cup with 58.5 kilos. Then we've had the support this morning for Valiant King into single figures, the horse from overseas who has to negate barrier 1, something that no horse has ever done in a Caulfield Cup. It's a terrific race, big field of 18, plenty of international interest as well with West Wind Blows and also Breakup from Japan. They've been here before and won it 4 years ago with Murder Glass in 2019. For the record, I like one of the favourites without a fight. I thought the run in the Turnbull was outstanding with Mark Zara aboard, but it's such an open race, and that's what makes it intriguing and exciting. And with the market, here's Simon Marshall as we lead up to the Caulfield Cup.
Here's Gold Trip, the Melbourne Cup winner, storming down the outside at the 200. Gold Trip runs on by 2 lengths, 3 lengths. West Wind Blows and Sulcombe, but it's all Gold Trip.
And out wide without a fight's taken over. Jewis trying hard, late non-conformist and further back to launches, but without a fight clear. 2 lengths in front in the line and kept going. It's all without a fight.
Montefilia is hitting the line well. Protagonist the rail. Huyamel a length in front. They're swooping. Huyamel being gobbled up by Montefilia.
Francesco Gardi halfway up the straight, led by 3 lengths to Luna Flair, who's finishing well, but it's all Francesco Gardi. Juna Pell the inside, still flash flood at the 150. Sulcombe is flashing through. Here comes Sulcombe. Sulcombe from the clouds. What a win!
The field for the 2023 Caulfield Cup are assembling behind us at the moment in the pre-parade. Charlotte, as you would expect with horses about to run 2,400 metres, for the most part they're doing everything right, but it's an important time, just those few minutes before they head up to the mounting yard.
Absolutely, yeah, they've got to come in here just to get in number order. Also the stewards just have a look over them, make sure they've got all the gear correct, and also obviously they check they've got weight bags on, etc., before they head up into the the actual parade ring for everybody to have a look at. But yeah, a very necessary part of the whole puzzle, and we're seeing some lovely horses parade here, and I think it's going to be very tough for you to have a pick of the yard today.
Yeah, we've certainly been spending a bit of time down here checking them out, Charlotte, and as you say, there's some nice horses who, as you'd expect, it's a grand final. They're here at their peak.
Absolutely, and I've had the luxury of also seeing them all get saddled up and seeing how they're acting pre-race, and Gold Trip's just a standout for me. He's just the consummate professional, that horse. He's had his adorning fans just stood all around him the whole time he's been here, and done plenty of interviews for all different TV outlets. So he's presenting in beautiful order. I had a good chat with John Bunting, his farrier. His feet look impeccable as well today. So I think the horse is absolutely spot on, and I'm glad we're seeing him race today.
Yeah, looking forward to it, Nigel. The countdown is certainly on for our Group 1 feature.
Yeah, butterflies, I think, in 25,000 stomachs on course. Michael Walker's ridden in a handful of the 145 Caulfield Cup so far. Go aboard their mounts as they make their way past the grandstand and into this famous mounting yard at Caulfield ahead of the 146th Carlton Draft Caulfield Cup, the world's richest handicap, over 2,400 metres, $5 million the prize pool. Can Gold Trip go one better than he did last year? Of course, he was second to Durston. Chris Waller looking to win his third Caulfield Cup and make it 3 from the last 4 years after, of course, victory with Very Elegant in 2020 and Durston last year, who was the emergency, who got a run with a scratching of Maximal to take his place and ultimately win the race for Michael D. Horse 1 is Gold Trip. It's been a question all the way through until 5 o'clock on the day of the Caulfield Cup to know whether Gold Trip would come to this race. He was incredible in the Turnbull, and that has been the preeminent form line in recent years for Australian and New Zealand trained winners of the Caulfield Cup. 7 of the last 10 through that path. Very elegant and incentivised doing the double in recent years.
I thought it was as close as good as he's gone in Australia, winning the Turnbull dominantly. He might be going even better than 12 months ago. Class top weights have got a really good record in this race the last 15 years. Best Solution, Admirakti, Viewed and Junit have all carried over 57 kilos. I think he has to be one of the 3 best chances in the race.
Yeah, he's come through his last start effort in super order. He's a consummate professional, as we've heard, wandering around the mounting yard in super condition. Certainly can't knock him.
Mark Zahra was second in this race last year aboard Gold Trip. He made the commitment to Horse 2 without a fight after a glittering Queensland winter campaign that included the win in the Q22, and this is grand final day. Of course, he comes here off just one spring run in the Underwood.
I thought it was a terrific run, fastest last 200 of the race, looks ideally suited over 2,400 metres on firm ground, and the perfect thing today is he finally draws a barrier that will maybe allow him to settle closer. I think he is one of the better chances in the race. I've got him on top.
Yeah, despite the fact that he's had some time in between runs, he's really improved since the last time he stepped foot on a mounting yard. He's really brightened up. He's much more settled than what we saw him in his first up parade too. He's been a lot more relaxed since he strode into the yard.
Free breakup not present to the 4 in Montefilia, the first of the Chris Waller runners, the mare who's contested the last 2 Caulfield Cups. She was 4th in both of those.
Big finish off a slow speed to win the Hill Stakes last time out. It was a huge run in this race 12 months ago. Arguably unlucky not to win it, but the key to her best form seems to be slow speeds where she can use her big booming turn of foot, and you don't see too many slowly run Caulfield Cups, even though we did see one 12 months ago.
She's grown and furnished since the last time I assessed her. I think she looks super in the yard this afternoon. She's been out walking for a long time. She's going to be nice and warmed up by the time she gets out on the track. She's got a beautiful manner about her, great parade.
Star Hoop James McDonald gets to 54 kilos to ride horse 5, Francesco Gardi.
Thought he did enough in the Turnbull. He went to a new level last preparation once he got out beyond 2,000 metres, and he gets to 2,400 for the first time this campaign, drops in weight, J-Mac on. I think he can improve sharply, and he's getting out to a price where I think he's well over the odds.
He's in peak condition. He's nice and fit, and he's coping well with his racing. His coat's in super order, getting a little bit warm behind his back legs, but aside from that, outwardly, he appears really relaxed.
6 west wind blows. Jamie Spencer riding for Simon and Ed Crisford has the benefit effort of an Australian run leading into the Caulfield Cup, and what a run it was in the Turnbull.
Huge run, terrific effort to finish as close as he did after doing so much work on a fast speed. He's been set for this race. He may come on again for it. He drops in weight. The little reservation I have that stops me from having him on top is if he begins a touch slowly or he can't muster, he could be buried. But that aside, he looks one of the better chances.
He's a real athlete, this horse. He took my eye when I saw him at Flemington, and he's done really well since that race. I thought they had him quite forward in terms of his fitness, so he was really only taking a little bit of natural improvement out of the race, and he's done that. He's got a little bit warm in places today, but he's looking super.
7 non-conformists was withdrawn this time yesterday to the 8 Salcombe, the 3rd of the Waller runners, coming via a win in the Heatherly, 4th in the Underwood, 3rd in the Turnbull. Craig Williams shooting for a 3rd Caulfield Cup.
His preparation's been outstanding for this contest. He's built nicely and he should excel, getting to the 1.5 miles for the first time this preparation. The concern with him is he can be a little bit slow out, which he has been in his past couple of starts, but he gets down in the weights. He was beaten around 2.5 lengths behind Gold Trip last time out, but he does get the weight swing in his favour and he should be peaking here this afternoon.
We're seeing his usual character in the yard. I love it when he flicks those front feet out. He's done it all campaign. He's another one that's just absolutely thriving, holding his condition well. He looks super in the coat.
John Allen rides the second of the Kieran Murray and Dave Eustace combatants, the 9 Duke de Sessa, who was 6th in the Turnbull at his second spring start after a return run in the Memsie, and finally gets to a trip somewhere resembling his best form in the Northern Hemisphere.
Well, he seemed to really appreciate that rise in distance in the Turnbull, and he probably looks even better suited rising in distance again here, 3rd up from a spell. He probably needs to find a few lengths, maybe he can.
Definitely improved again. Easily the best he stepped out on race day this preparation.
10, Huya Mal, Gay Waterhouse winning the race with Desperado in 2010, has a couple of runners in partnership with Adrian Bott. The horse comes here off a second behind Montefilia in the $2 million Hill Stakes in Sydney.
He couldn't match Montefilia's turn of foot last start, but he dropped 6 kilos. He's suited rising in distance. He can roll forward. Wouldn't surprise to see him run well, and the market's really respecting him here.
My first look at him, he's here in a very good order. The team, as you would expect, have got him very, very fit. He's got a great coat on him, dapples emerging across his hindquarters, so certainly bright and well.
Michael D trying to become the first rider to go back-to-back in the Caulfield Cup since Craig Williams in 2011 and 12. Durston last year, he rides the 11, Right You Are. This has been his target since winning the Mornington Cup on April 22.
Yeah, it has been the target. Firm ground suits, drops to 53 kilos. I thought there were better Caulfield Cup trials in the Turnbull though, and there are stronger winning chances.
Look, he's pretty genuine. He parades well and he generally races up to it, and he's fronted up at the races in good order again today if he's good enough.
12 is Emissary, placed in last year's Melbourne Cup. Prior to that, his last test at 2,400 metres was a victorious one in the Geelong Cup.
He stopped quickly late in the Turnbull. The jockey, Jamie Carr, actually thought he broke down, but he was found to have nothing wrong. Drops in weight, maps for a soft run, the rising distance suits, but his form this preparation doesn't look strong enough. He'd need to improve sharply.
His parade is exceptional. He's looked outstanding. The polish is on. He's improved with every run. He's at his peak. If he runs up to his looks, he'll be somewhere thereabouts.
Linda Meach, 3rd aboard Persan 2 years ago, rides the 13 Goldman for Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott.
Don't think he was suited taking a sit in the Bart Cummings last time out. He dropped 7 kilos and he might be much better suited being allowed to roll on a fast speed. That win where he thrashed Goldman, where he thrashed Salcombe, I should say, was hard to get out of your head, but the form this preparation makes it hard to be confident.
He's just got that real traditional staying look about him, this horse. He's built for a race like this. He's very fit. I love how alert he is in the yard. His ears have been pricked. He's had a good look around. He's taken in all his surroundings today. Joseph
O'Brien bids to add a Caulfield Cup to his 2 Melbourne Cups and a Cox Plate 2 years ago with State of Rest with 2 runners. The first is the 14 Okita Sushi. Kieran McAvoy winning the race 15 years ago on an international All the Good.
He's last seen finishing 3rd of 4 on the Irish St Ledger. He drops 9.5 kilos on that run. He was a 2,400 metre 2 starts ago in a ratings race. The query has to be whether he's good enough.
I don't mind this horse's parade. Physically, he's quite compact. He's got good depth through his girth, a nice shoulder on him. He's handled himself brilliantly and he's got a wonderful rich colour to his coat. So they've brought a nice, healthy, fit horse to the races.
15 is Fame, who was placed behind a horse we thought we might see here in a Caulfield Cup when he won the Queensland Derby, Kovalika, back in late May. It was an admirable second on that occasion from this son of Manhattan Rain.
Yeah, well, the rising distance is the key. That career peak came in the Queensland Derby behind Kovalika, and that form's looking pretty good now. He was 5 lengths behind Without a Fight in the Q22, and he's probably going to end up a long way back from the barrier or risk doing a lot of work.
He's continued to improve. He's got a real bounce in his step, and he's been very well prepared for a race like this.
Annabelle Neesham had Numerian run 5th last year. She has 2 runners here, all through the Wyong, Newcastle and Metropolitan form line. The first of them is the 16, Boy D'Argent.
No lucky last start in the Metropolitan. He drops 3 kilos, but for me, the form doesn't look strong enough.
He's in the right shape. He's had plenty of racing. He's nice and fit, and he's handled himself well.
2.67 in the lead up for Boy D'Argent. For 17 Spirit Ridge, they've been all placings. 3rd at Wyong, then runner-up at Newcastle and in the Metrop.
Gave just fine 2.5 kilos and was narrowly beaten in fast time in the Metropolitan. They put a big gap on 3rd, and he drops to 50.5 kilos here for a horse that's tough and looks to one of the potential leaders in the race, racing in career best form. But the big but is it is a much stronger race.
Yeah, tough is right. He's a lovely big gross horse. He copes well with his racing. He's got a very relaxed manner about him. Can get warm in the yard, and we're seeing that today.
Jamie Carr rides the second of the O'Brien Gallopers. 18 Valiant King, who's got form around the Melbourne Cup favourite.
He's the least experienced horse in the contest. He's a Northern Hemisphere 3-year-old who's only had 7 career starts, and his most recent run was quite plain, but you referenced the effort 2 starts back in the Balrowan Stakes against Vauban. He was second on that occasion, and prior to that he ran really well at Royal Ascot in a nice emerging contest for the 3-year-olds. He gets down in the weights. He's drawn an inside gate. Is he going to have enough speed to hold his position? That could be the key part of the race as he gets to the winning post for the first time.
I think you make the point that he is only a Northern Hemisphere 3-year-old, and you can see that in his physique when he's wandering around the yard. He's still got a bit of physical maturing to do. He's not an overly big horse. Doesn't have to carry a lot of weight though, so that's a positive. But again, nice and fit, and certainly looks well in the yard.
The sole emergency 19 United Nation gets a run. He was second in last Saturday's Herbert Power.
Yeah, he'll be hard fit on the backup for an elite stable when it comes to preparing stayers. He's racing well, he drops in weight, but it's significantly stronger, and I don't think his form is good enough.
He's nice and fit. He's prepared by the right stable. He got himself really worked up in the yard though, hence why he's headed out early.
Japan have had success in the race in the past decade via Admiraki. And Damien Lane, of course, rode Murder Glass to victory in 2019. He rides Break Up here for trainer Tatsuya Yoshioka.
Yeah, he comes through the Takarazuka Kinnan and also the Tennis Show. That is elite form, and it's basically a drop in class today for him. He's a Group 2 winner in Japan. He's got Damien Lane in the saddle. He's got the ability to race on or close to the speed. Maybe he maps for potentially the run of the race. I guess the query's got to be, is he better suited at Flemington in a Melbourne Cup?
For all the chat during the day that he was going to be a bit of a handful when he came into the yard, he was perfectly behaved. He came in late, but he found his spot, and he actually paraded for quite some time with the rest of the field. Did head out early down to the barrier, but not at any point did he get himself worked up or hot or looked like he was showing any signs of being sort of distressed or nervous. So I thought it was a very good parade from him. He's nice and fit despite the time between races.
Crowd of 25,000 scurrying for vantage points ahead of the Carlton Draft Caulfield Cup, first run in April 1879, moved to spring in 1881. It's become a part of October life in Melbourne ever since. Ben Ascari, your numbers for the world's richest 2,400 metre handicap.
Everything I've seen from Without a Fight since he joined the Freedman stable has pointed towards the Caulfield Cup, and he finally draws the right barrier. So I think he's one of the key chances. West Wind Blows might be the other of them. That was a phenomenal run in the Turnbull. Gold Trip was hard to miss. He's got the class on his side, and he's a very good horse. Might be going better this preparation. Salcombe looks suited down in weight, up in distance. I think they're the 4 keys, but the 2 W's Without a Fight, West Wind Blows on top for me, BZ.
I'm with Gold Trip. He won the Turnbull in fine style. He's the Melbourne Cup winner of last spring, and he looked outstanding in the parade. I think he's going to run a big race here. I think he can carry the weight and do it.
You could just about do my job. Gold Trip goes on top. He did look outstanding in the parade. He's a horse with a lot of quality, a lot of class, and he's fronted up in really similar order to last start. He goes on top. Really like the improvement that Without a Fight has made between runs. He's really brightened up. He looked nice and fit, and he was much more settled in the mounting yard, conserved his energy better. And Emissary looked an absolute picture in the yard. I'll be very surprised if he's not somewhere thereabouts. 1 ahead of the 2 and the 12.
Well, punters can't
Chris Waller's been kind enough to join us ahead of the 2023 Carlton Draft Caulfield Cup. Previous success in recent years with Very Elegant and Durston last year. It's great to have him here on course with 3 key chances in the race. Chris, appreciate your time. In simple terms, let's work through them in racebook order and start with the chance of Montefilia from your perspective.
Yeah, well, she's coming into the race with confidence. Her win in Sydney last start in the Hill Stakes was very good. Loved the way how she got back and just really hit the line strong. So from today's draw, we'll ride her similar to that. That's the plan, and see how she can get home.
Next cab off the rank is Francesco Gardi, who's got the services of James McDonald.
Yeah, a little bit plain last start, but I think he might have just been a touch underdone. Steps up to a more suitable distance today, and as you say, James is aboard. Tricky barrier, so I've left it to James early. He'll try and find a spot where he can. If he can't find a spot early, he might have to drag back and ride for luck.
Craig Williams seeks a third Caulfield Cup with the ride aboard Salcombe.
Of our 3, he's got the best draw. He's not the best of beginners. Hopefully we can utilise that gate, have him in a midfield spot so that he's not too far away. And his form out of weight for age races has been excellent. So he's probably the number 1 seed with the draw.
Chris, all the best.
Thank you very much.
Well, what an atmosphere it is down here behind the barriers. I don't think I've ever seen a crowd as big here at Caulfield for the Cup. And just watching all of the jockeys parade behind, I haven't asked anybody any questions. Just watching them, there's a few steely faces. Obviously, the atmosphere is really building for them as well. There's a few jockeys with their feet out of the stirrups. Jamie Carr, Ben Mellon, they like to keep their horses nice and relaxed. Gold Trip's doing everything you want to see behind the barriers. Montefilia looks outstanding. Salcombe's lovely and relaxed. Yeah, it's going to be a tough cup because I don't know who is going to win this one.
They're starting the loading process for the feature of the afternoon, the Carlton Draft Caulfield Cup, worth $5 million, 30 seconds out. Ben Asghari, who did you like here?
Well, let's see if the sparks fly early. You know, with so much pace in this race on paper, Huya Mail, Spirit Ridge, Goldman from out wide, and let's keep an eye on barrier 2, West Wind Blows. He's going to run favourite or close enough to it. Michael Walker, what does Jamie Spencer need to do early?
I just think that he needs to hold a more forward position than what he does. We know he's a little bit sluggish early, but if Jamie can get him to jump good and not be so sluggish, I think he's in the race.
We're soon going to find out what transpires here in one of the great races on the Australian calendar. Here's Matt Hill to call.
As they continue to load, Emissary Jai McNeil goes in. Akita Sushi is forward with Duke de Sessa out wide. Francesco Gardi has taken up his position. Chris Waller winning 2 of the last 3 runnings of the race. Salcombe about to load. Breakup is in. Fame coming towards the outside. One of the outsiders here. Ridden by Craig Newitt. Akita Sushi is in. Karen McAvoy, who won the race 15 years ago with all the good. Emissary stands patiently. Huya Mail is about to load. Montefilia and Goldman are going to be the final ones to join the line for the Carlton Draft Caulfield Cup. So Montefilia to take a middle alley. Blake Shin, another one for Chris Waller, and Goldman to take the outside. And the field is now locked away for the Carlton Draft Caulfield Cup. Stand by for a start. They are ready. Set to go. They make a good line and they're racing, and West Wind Blows hesitated, missed the start 2 or 3. Salcombe 6 lengths last early. Bois d'Argent began well with Valiant King, Huya Mail, Spirit Ridge, Right You Are from the deep. United Nations coming over with also Goldman as they blast to the post with a lap to go. Spirit Ridge the leader from United Nations. Goldman made a line of 3 on the first corner. They're a length and a half in front of Huya Mail, and then came Right You Are. About a length and a half Valiant King on the fence from Bois d'Argent, 2 lengths to break up, and then West Wind Blows, who recovered on the fence midfield. A length and a quarter Emissary without a fight. 2.5 to Gold Trip. Then came Francesco Gardi, Montefilia, Salcombe well back, Duke de Sessa, Akita Sushi, and 2 for the back to Fame at the end of the field. 1,600 metres to go. The speed's been on early. Spirit Ridge 2 lengths Goldman. Third on the inside is Huya Mail, and then came United Nations in 4th place. Next along the inside is Valiant Valiant King at the 1400 metres, 2 lengths right you are. They continue the climb, and then came Bois d'Argent, 2.5 lengths to break up. West Wind Blows, 1.25 Emissary. Then came Without a Fight, a couple of lengths to Gold Trip, Francesco Guardi. They really string out, 1.5 Montefilia, Sulcombe, 2 lengths Duke de Sessa, Akita Sushi, and Fame is last. It's 30 lengths first to last. Spirit Ridge kept them motoring towards the 1,000 metres by a length to Goldman. Huyamal third the inside, followed by United Nations, 1.25 Valiant King, right you are. 2 lengths Bois d'Argent, followed by Breakup. The Japanese runners only about 7 or 8 off the front. 2 lengths West Wind Blows, then Emissary Without a Fight. Further back is Gold Trip, who's 15 off the lead from Francesco Guardi. Then a gap Sulcombe, well back in the field, Montefilia, Duke de Sessa, Akita Sushi and Fame. Spirit Ridge at the 600 metres led the field from United Nations. Huyamal's got a split, right you are, made a line of 4. They're 1.5 Valiant King. Breakups coming on, so too West Wind Blows. Without a Fight's the widest. Gold Trip is tracking into it, needs a run though. Right you are, Huyamal into the straight from Valiant King. West Wind Blows, Breakup. They were followed by Bois d'Argent. Without a Fight and Gold Trip are running on. West Wind Blows at the 200. Without a Fight runs on, lays in on top of Gold Trip. West Wind Blows, 100 to go. Without a Fight coming at it. Without a Fight, West Wind Blows. The heads in unison. Without a Fight. Without a Fight won the Caulfield Cup narrowly from West Wind Blows and Gold Trip. Fourth, right you are, with Bois d'Argent, followed then by Valiant King, Sulcombe. Breakup and Duke de Sessa. Behind them, Huyamal, United Nations. And then came Goldman, Montefilia. Spirit Ridge got tired. Francesco Guardi, Akita Sushi. And always towards the back was Fame. A long last Emissary.
We thought the 146th edition of the Caulfield Cup would be one for the ages. It's exceeded expectations and then some. Hugs aplenty amongst Sam Freedman, Brad Taylor and the rest of the team who have plotted the course Without a Fight to the day and got it spot on. They took him to the Underwood off his Queensland winter, where he burst onto the Australian scene with those dominant victories in the Lord Mayors and then the Q22. For many, it was a big call not to perhaps go through a longer, more traditional route and tackle races like the Turnbull on the way through. The Underwood and the warm-up was enough. He was top 6 on that occasion behind Alligator Blood. They targeted the Caulfield Cup, and in the end, he has prevailed. And Mark Zahra is the story here. He's pulled the right rein. He's been part of the Gold Trip story all the way through. Would Gold Trip go to the race? We weren't sure. He was second on that horse last year before, of course, he was a Melbourne Cup winner. Mark Zahra stuck with Without a Fight. He committed, and as a result, he's now a 2-time winner of a Caulfield Cup after success on Very Elegant back in 2020. West Wind Blows has run enormous for Jamie Spencer, Simon and Ed Crisford. What a jewel it was. And Gold Trip, second last year, runs third in 2023. Mark Zahra, a 2-time Caulfield Cup winner, is with Charlotte Littlefield.
Well, I think you pulled the right rein.
Yeah, it's good when you know the results at the end, but you got to choose them before, unfortunately. But what a moment! So I'm so happy.
I saw the emotion with that big exhale and that punch in the sky. It must mean a lot to you.
Yeah, I don't really celebrate much, but with the week I've had and the things that have gone on, I was just, I had to kick myself in the ribs. My wife probably did it for me midway through the week and said, let's just focus on the ride we've got, and it's a good chance. And had a beautiful run, and he did the rest.
Yeah, absolutely. He's an absolute champion. You're a champion. You've won multiple Caulfield Cups now. What's next for you?
Well, I'm not sure how he went, Gold Trip, but the Cox Plate could be next week. We'll see.
Let's hope so. All the best. Well done.
Thank you.
I've got Liam Fielding with me, who spent a lot of time Without a Fight, and it's been a tough week for the stable. How was that last 200 metres?
I don't think I've ever screamed so loud in my life, and I'm crying. It's such a big team effort to get him here. Like, this week has just been unbelievable. So much stress on everybody, but it's paid off. Huge credit to everybody, like Sam, Anthony, Brad, Steph, Elise, Robbie, he rides in work. Every single person has just put in so much time and effort here, and it's made it worth it.
Wonderful result. We'll let you go and get him.
Thank you.
Oh, Sam, you've done it, mate. You've won a Caulfield Cup with a horse that you've had so much faith in.
Yeah, no, look, it's a special day. Got to say a particular thank you to Sheikh Mohammed Obeid, who made the right call to send the horse out in the first place, and he left him out here. And what a call! He's pulled the right rein. The horse has brilliant on top of the ground, and all the staff at home, they've done a terrific job. Particularly thank you to Mornington Racing Club. They've given us access to the course proper as much as we needed. We obviously went from the 1800 to the mile and a half, and he's just a good horse.
Yeah, he's a really good horse. And that association with Sheikh Mohammed Abeid came when you were working over in England for Roger Varian.
Yeah, it was. Look, he had a very good horse called Postponed, and was thankful to have a little bit to do with him, and met him at the races. Yeah, been going back 6 or 7 years, and thankful that we kept up the connection. And Liam O'Rourke, who looks after all his bloodstock, stayed in contact, and down the line, here we are. Yeah,
last 24 hours, mate. We were worried that he wasn't going to get a start.
Yeah, they made the right call in the end.
Yeah.
We were never worried. I think that's the most worrying thing. As a trainer, I mean, you would never send a horse to the races that you didn't feel was ready to go. This horse, we know him so well, and all the staff, they work tirelessly to get these results. And so when you've got that nervous little wait, you're feeling for them. They're putting in the hours, and it's been a tough enough sort of 6 or 12 months. And look, I'm sure the old man will be at home and getting a bit emotional, so it's good.
Yeah, cheerio to Anthony. Well done, mate. You won a big major. We're really proud of you.
Thank you.
What a race, what a thrill for the Freedman team, and you have to commend the runner-up, West Wind Blows, from an inside draw, was slow out, hemmed away from a long stage. Jamie Spencer's come from the UK to ride that horse. He's done a remarkable job to be beaten only a long head, and if he was going to be beaten by anyone, it would be for his good mate Mark Zahra, because they are very close, Jamie Spencer, and their other good mate in Ben Mellum's run third on Gold Trip.
The first and second, both outstanding rides, so either of them deserved it, but I bet you Zahra's going to say, I got you again.
What an amazing race. So terrific rides on all of the first three. What about the story of the Crisfords? They had Without a Fight. He was given to Australian trainers, then they bring West Wind Blows, and the horse they had such an opinion of knocks off West Wind Blows in the finish. Mark Zahra, of course, elected to stick with Without a Fight over Gold Trip. At the top of the straight, it looked like Gold Trip was maybe going better, but that staying prowess and the brilliant ride of Mark Zahra ended up proving the difference in the finish. There was the vetting issue yesterday. The vets have made the right call, passed him fit to run. And let's hear from Ed Crisford, who their horses run enormously well in West Wind Blows.
Ed, West Wind Blows, you've had to settle for second in a Caulfield Cup. What were your thoughts throughout the race?
Well, he jumped very slow, and originally I was a bit worried how he jumped, but they're going quite quick into the first bend, and it was a good pace. So I thought we're quite happy. And Jamie rode a fantastic race, and he just angled out. He came into it up the straight. I thought, right, we could win this. But Without a Fight's a very good horse, and just came in the last and beat us by a head. But two good horses, and delighted with the run. You couldn't be happier, really. I mean, bar winning.
Probably not often you see a horse looming that you've had in your stable previously. When you knew it was Without a Fight, what were the thoughts going through your head?
Well, I knew Without a Fight's a battler, and I know what he's got under his bonnet. So I thought, it's just nice to see them both do so well. But no, it's fantastic.
He has acquitted himself well. You should be proud. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Mark Zahra is a dual Caulfield Cup winning jockey. His 27th Group 1 comes aboard Without a Fight in the 2023 Carlton Draft Caulfield Cup. Take us inside the race from 7. Did you find the spot you wanted to?
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to have him switched off and in a good rhythm. And I just put him to sleep. Seen Gold Trip trying to get in outside me earlier. I thought, I'd like to hold him out 3 deep, but got to focus on my horse. And I just found the rail, and I just cruised along beautifully. The speed was very good, which suited him. And I thought they'd fall a heap, so I made my way, to get out. I followed Jamie Spencer, one of my best mates, everywhere he went. And he actually put a couple of lengths on me around the bend. I just struggled around the bend a little bit. But then when I flattened out into the straight, he was game late. He wanted to win.
Well, it's only right that you had your mates around you, isn't it? Gold Trip had to be involved in the conversation, given the lead-up. And then Jamie Spencer as well, who you've got such a close bond with. Who's picking up the chick at Francois tomorrow?
The Gold Trip only did last time. He's not there, and Spencer to win, so it looks like it's me. We'll have to tone down the wine a bit, I reckon.
Is Without a Fight, do you feel, a Melbourne Cup horse?
Look, you've got to have a crack, didn't you? That was second up from a spell. That was a great training performance from the Freedman to get him right today. So you think there's got to be a little bit of improvement. The way he switched off this prep, in Brisbane, I thought he won't run past 2,000 metres. I said set him to the Cox Plate, but he's just come back so much more relaxed, and
you got to have a crack.
Well, Mark, your first win here, unfortunately, no one was here to enjoy it with you when Very Elegant was successful. It's great that you've got family and friends here to lap it up with you. We'll let you go and enjoy it.
Cheers, thanks very much. Nice stuff.
Kieran Barr joins me, Gold Trip. He's placed again in the Caulfield Cup. Your thoughts on his performance?
Super. Thought he had a great run. You know, it's a handicap, and he's got a little bit more than last year. I thought he'd run super. I thought Betting rode him well. You know, the race probably panned out how it looked on paper. You know, the winner and the second horse were, you know, at the weight were always going to be big contenders, and West Wind blows them without a fight, and I thought Gold Trip ran super, so couldn't be happier.
Best of luck with him going forward.
Thank you.
Still to come forward along with Lady Simone, and the field will be...
What was an outstanding Carlton Draft Caulfield Cup. They've run a time of 2:26.45, which is just over a second outside the track record, which was set by Diatribe of 2:25.32 23 years ago, year 2000. We're going to hear from the Beaten Brigade. A big crowd here on course, but this is what the Beaten jockeys had to say.
Craig Newitt, fine.
Yeah, he's just in class.
James McDonald, Francesco Guardi.
He was back where all the eventual winners and place getters come from, and he made no inroads. Very disappointing.
Kieran McAvoy, Akita Sushi.
Yeah, he moved into behind them around the corner at the 400. He was moving on into it nicely. Just level the last furlong, so I'd say he's just going to tighten up through fitness from that run.
Jamie Carr, Valiant King.
He was really good. He just needs a bigger track, and we got going, and then he had to stop for a few strides, and that just interrupted his run home. But yeah, he ran really well there.
Jamie Spencer, West Wind Blows.
Yeah, what can I say? He did everything right. Being a step slow away probably helped him because we were going fast fractions. Yeah, won the battle, lost the war.
Mick D, right you are?
Yeah, super. Had a nice run. He probably gave a good kick at the top of the straight and tried hard. So, yeah, nice run.
Craig Williams, Salcombe.
Unfortunately, that's the worst he's ever left the gates. He was really slow out. But he's back with the first four home over the line. They just sprinted faster than we did today.
Jai McNeil, Emissary.
Yeah, he didn't pull up 100%, so the stable will monitor him.
Blake Shin, Montefilia.
Yeah, Montefilia, I just think she was big gassed at that tempo. She came off the bridle a long way out and therefore didn't have any stamina at the end.
Thanks, mate. Linda Meach, Goldman.
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed. His work's been great leading into it. To see what happens in the dust settles. I used from the gate and probably took away my winning chance.
Winona Costin, Boy D'Argent.
Big run. He travelled really nicely throughout and really got to line. Very happy with his run today.
Dan Yendall, Spirit Ridge.
I got free air out there. A good gallop out lead, obviously. No traffic at all. Trying to let him be happy, comfortable he was. Just found that pressure a bit strong. Yeah, I was happy with him though. Cheers.
Carleen Heffel, United Nations.
Yeah, really nice. Look, from that gate, we got a beautiful spot in the run, and he travelled absolutely perfect. Sort of got him out bowling from the 800, and the others probably just had a better turn of foot, but he'll be better over further. Thanks.
Timmy Clark, Huyamel.
Began really well and straight into a good prominent position, but he didn't settle well enough throughout the race to finish off.
Johnny Allen, Duke de Sessa.
Yeah, look, we got a long way back from the gate. They did roll along a good gallop, snuck a few runs around the corner, but we were just chasing from a long way out. Still thought he ran okay.
Damien Lane, break up.
Had a great run, travelled lovely, maybe a touch close to that brutal speed. Presented well, maybe just a few sharper than him today. He'll be better for further in the bigger circuit at Flemington.
Ben Melham, Gold Trip.
Ran terrific, had a lovely run. He was just really made carry that weight with the frantic speed. It never let up, and I had the chances that 1-2 just in front of me, and 4 or 5 kilos in the end was a finish. I sort of presented into the race off the back of West Wind Blows. I made ground inside Zara there. He's come from behind me and beat me. So horse are going terrific from moving forward, whether they go the Cox Plate or Melbourne Cup, but especially the Melbourne Cup, the horse couldn't be in any better.
a length to Goldman. Huyamal third the inside, followed by United Nations. A length and a quarter, Valiant King, Right You Are. 2 lengths, Bois d'Argent, followed by Break Up. The Japanese runners only about 7 or 8 off the front. 2 lengths, West Wind Blows, then Emissary without a fight. Further back is Gold Trip, who's 15 off the lead from Francesco Gardi. Then a gap, Solcombe, well back in the field, Montefilia, Duke de Sessa, Akita Sushi and Fame. Spirit Ridge at the 600 metres led the field from United Nations. Huyamal's got a split. Right You Are made a line of 4. They're a length and a half, Valiant King. Break-up's coming on. So too West Wind Blows. Without a fight's the widest. Gold Trip is tracking into it. Needs a run though. Right You Are, Huyamal into the straight from Valiant King. West Wind Blows. Break Up. They were followed by Bois d'Argent. Without a fight, and Gold Trip are running on. West Wind Blows at the 200. Without a fight, runs on. Lays in on top of Gold Trip. West Wind Blows, 100 to go. Without a fight, coming at it. Without a fight, West Wind Blows. Their heads in unison. Without a fight, won the Caulfield Cup. Narrowly from West Wind Blows and Gold Trip. Fourth, Right You Are, or Bois d'Argent. Followed then by Valiant King, Solcombe. Break Up and Duke de Sessa. Behind them, Huyamal, United Nations. And then came Goldman, Montefilia. Spirit Ridge got tired. Francesco Gardi, Akita Sushi. And always towards the back was Fame. A long last, Emissary.